Y'all country much? Well, as you can see, I've arranged this like I would like it. I've cleaned it off, all this come off of it. You can see what happens under it. Just a mess. And this is working sometimes and then having to stop and come back, and you don't have time every time, I don't, to clean the mess up. So what I'd like to do, I've got my fiber saw for cutting hardened steel, rusty stuff, things like that. We have the tooth blade. The tooth blade is fine for softer material, mild steel, things that aren't rusty. The rust will actually dull the blade. Grinder for prettying things up, cleaning. I've got a 12, I think that's a 12-inch sander and another grinder. And I'd like to fix this up on wheels, and that's what this will be about. Putting this iron table, it's steel, on wheels, and that way I can roll it over here to some area and do the work I want to do, and then move it out of the way and clean the mess up. And of course, this will still get dirty, the top, but we'll worry about that, you know, these little slivers. By the way, these are great around your, like, pecan trees, nut trees, walnuts, stuff like that. They make those nuts off iron. It's real good for the tree. So I collect this up, and then I've got some pecan trees, and I scattered about them, and that helps them produce better. This is the looks of the mess under the table. Just things collect. I don't throw anything away much until it's nothing but dust. So I'll hang on to this, and I use it all the time in other projects. Of course, got things that need to go straight to the trash. I was looking for these the other day. Hey, there's one. That's another story. So what I've got is some material. We'll get our design right for the height I want. You can do it for whatever height you want. Make us a tray around the bottom of it so the table can sit in it. I might tack weld it, I may bolt it. But it's upside down at the moment. And then the table will be able to be rolled around, used in a place, move it back out of the way, and clean up under it. And I think that's going to help me keep the area cleaner and not look like that over time. May or may not be beneficial, but that's the plan. First distraction, I've always wanted to set this saw, the tooth saw, on this, which is mobile. You can stand it up anywhere and do your cutting, but these have to attach. So I'll prepare these. I'm going to bore my holes. I'm going to weld them to the base of this, and then I'll be able to bolt it up, set it on that. I can use it for the rest of my cuts on this, and that way I can have the table upside down while I'm making all my cuts and getting everything ready. Very handy tool. I'll sometimes do it more than once just to get a good divot. Vibrates too much. Sorry about that. Of course, I pilot drilled with this bit, and I saw something recently said the cross sectional of the point area of that should be, the full diameter of that should be the cross section of this larger one. And we're about there, close enough. I hand sharpen my own bits. If they're in that size range, I don't mess with the smaller ones. that's the saw I'm working on to set it up for that horse or whatever you want to call it, the stand it goes on. I'll have to clearance that out right there. I was going to cut it all out, but I'd rather just cut part of it out, and that'll give me a little more place to weld. And because I'm going to be using this, I'm going to have a face shield on, and to me, just as important, something to protect your hearing, because tinnitus is not a joke. All right, you ready? Next, I'm going to soften these edges because there'd be nothing better than for that to drag on your knuckle as you're handling the saw. One-handed, mind you. Now I just need to weld both of those to it. It's not going to interfere with the saw operating. There's its little rubber feet. It can still sit wherever it is. Those edges are nice and soft. I won't have to worry about gouging myself or somebody else or something that I didn't want damaged. We'll hem that up, get our bolts in, and then I can use the stand. I've had to even bring this out for, of course, that lasts a little bit. Got the welder set up. We're going to kick her down because that is some fairly thin material, this portion. It's an old Miller I picked up. Anyway, I've cleaned it up a little bit. I'm not too worried about it. This is not a structural weld. This is just something to get me through. Sorry about that air compressor. I didn't think about that. That's just terrible. But it'll get by, Lord, like I said. This is no structural weld. I have nothing to lean on. I don't know why. There's something right there to lean on. Right. It's hard for me to see on this side because the sun's not hitting me. Oh, we'll give it back. That's acceptable. If you're watching this for the welding, you need to be watching something else. Alright. Reason I did it that way anyway is this end's got these rubber feet that I could bump against. I've measured it. Everything's right. I've got the same outlook I need on each side. It's going to be like I want it, and then I'll set the back one based off the front one because there's a little variance in the back. Let me get that set up. Everything measures out acceptable. Hey, this time, I'm not even going to grind that off. You should grind it off if you're doing any welding such as I am. I'm saying you should. I'm not going to. You hear that? That's from not cleaning it. And that's from not cleaning it. See? Again, I encourage you. If you want to watch videos for the welding, watch No Bullshit Welding, IC Weld, even Cutting Edge Engineering Australia. But don't watch me. That's not what I'm here for. So far, it seems mission accomplished. Got it bolted on there. Let's sit you down a moment. This is definitely a two-hand operation. It's still plugged up, so I need to unplug it. Bring it in. Sorry about all that. It's been a while since I used it, so I was acting foolish with it. But there we go. These slide out, give you some support. It's obviously not meant for to be as strong as what steel will be. There we go. It's been sitting for a little while, but I've been wanting to do this for a while. I don't know what a dog's barking at. Now, back to making a spot for wheels on the table. I'm going to build a square thing to go around the bottom. Basically sit the table in there with wheels on it, of course. And then we'll be able to move it around, like I said. And this, I'm going to tell you the truth, I'm liking that enough. I may keep that just like that at this point. I should have done that years ago.